Shunin. Your dad's Dragon Boat Festival guest list has 28 people. Why aren't Bobo and I on it? Oh, Dad didn't mean anything by it. This time it's mainly for the Joe relatives. You're not a Joe by blood after all. Not a Joe? I've been married into this family for 8 years, had your child, taken care of your parents, and I'm still an outsider? Dad didn't mean anything by it. Don't take it personally. What about Bobo? His last name is Joe. He's your son and your dad's own grandson. Is he an outsider too? Why are you making such a big deal out of this? Bobo's still little. Just bring him along. Does his name really have to be on the list? If his name isn't on the list, I'm not going. So that's what this is about? Dad just wanted everyone to have a nice meal together, and you're determined to ruin the mood. I'm ruining the mood? I took care of your parents when they were hospitalized. Your nieces and nephews' cash gifts and school expenses came out of my paycheck, dollar by dollar. But aren't we all family? Family? Your dad has never treated my son and me like family from day one. So what do you want me to do? Fight with my dad and force him to add your name? You know that's not happening. Then don't. I wasn't counting on it anyway. All right. It's Dad's fault, okay? I'll talk to him. Don't bother. He probably thought I'd swallow it again. But this time, I'm done. Honey, where's my blue shirt? No idea. Find it yourself. Didn't you always have it ready for me before? That was before. Now I'm just an outsider, according to you. I don't owe the Joe family's Prince personal service. You're seriously not letting this go? Over one dinner? Yes, because I told you, this was never about one dinner. What do you even want? Nothing. I'm done eating at Joe family dinners, and I'm done waiting on Joe family members. Look how much my mom cares about us. Every family meal feels like a holiday. Yeah, you're right. My second sister-in-law and my sister both said they'd go early tomorrow to help Mom. You're the only one... Where are you going? I'm taking Bobo to my mom's for the night. We'll go straight to dinner tomorrow and avoid the traffic. Tomorrow? What dinner are you going to? I'm treating my whole side of the family. Your Joe clan gets 28 people together, so I'll have 20-something from my side too. Fair, right? Shuqian, what are you trying to pull? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Yep, completely on purpose. If you won't include me, I can host my own dinner. You're blowing money on stuff like this. Have you even thought about our family? Of course I have. This is your salary card. The $5,000 you give me each month pays for your parents' medicine, gifts for your nieces and nephews, holiday presents, everything. Whatever's left goes to groceries, meals, and Bobo's school fees. I haven't touched a cent of my own salary. This card is mine. I'm treating my own family with my own money. That's my business, not yours. You have that much money? Savings from before we married, plus 8 years of salary and investments. Jonian, I'm Shuqian. I don't need you to survive. Shuqian, stop right there. This is only the beginning. Everything your Joe family owes me, I'm taking back one item at a time. Shuqian, stop making a scene. Look at yourself. Tomorrow is my dad's birthday banquet. If his own daughter-in-law isn't there, what are the relatives going to think of me? He called his birthday banquet a casual family meal, just so he could exclude me without looking bad. That's how calculated this was. Your dad's birthday? That's a Joe family matter. What does it have to do with an outsider like me? Finally, peace and quiet. Miss Shu, the largest private room you reserved is ready. Right this way. We've got a big crowd today. Please bring out your best dishes. My daughter really made something of herself. Dad, order whatever you want today. It's on me. It's the Dragon Boat Festival. Of course I should spend it with the family who loves me most. Thanks, Mom, Dad, my brothers and sisters, for always giving me a home to come back to. I'm not hiding this post from a single person. I want them all to see it. Shuqian, what is this supposed to mean? You post something like that on the day of my birthday banquet just to embarrass me? Dad, what are you talking about? Birthday banquet? I had no idea. Quit playing dumb. You've humiliated the entire Joe family. Get back here right now. Dad, I'm afraid I can't. I've got more than 20 people waiting for me to pay the bill, and this place isn't cheap. If I leave, who's paying? Shuqian, have you lost your mind? Delete that post right now. Right now? Why should I delete it? I'm spending my own money treating my own family. I didn't steal it from anyone. Who exactly am I hurting? You? Don't let that garbage spoil your mood or our meal. Bro, relax, the show's just getting started. How could I miss this? Thanks for checking in, everyone. My family dinner is going great, and there's more than enough food. Hope you're all eating and drinking well, too. Shunin, now the real show begins. Shuqian, are you done causing trouble yet? Jonian, who are you yelling at? This is a Shu family dinner. Who gave you permission to come in here shouting? Shuqian, Jonian is just upset. Don't take it personally. Dad's getting older and it's his birthday. All the relatives saw what you posted and he's completely lost face. Joe Genhai gets to care about his pride, but Bobo and I don't. He invited all 28 members of the family to his birthday banquet and left out only the 2 of us. When he cared about saving face, did he ever think about mine? Didn't Dad just forget? Did you really have to blow this up and make sure everyone knew about it? Forget. He remembered your sister, who's been married out for 20 years, listed all 4 people in her family, and even noted that her daughter just started college. He didn't forget us. He never considered us his own. Even if Dad was wrong first, you can't retaliate like this. You're trying to destroy this family. Destroy this family? Who's been holding it together? Who cared for your parents in the hospital? Who gave your nieces and nephews the biggest gifts every year? You give me $5,000 and think that supports me and our son? You know how much of my own money I've put into this family. You live off me, then kick me out as an outsider. How is that fair? You! Take your 2 brothers and get out! A daughter of the Shu family was not born to be a servant for the Zhou family. Consider this our farewell dinner. Tomorrow we're getting divorced. Shu Qian, you really want to divorce me? The moment your dad crossed my son and me off that list and you chose to say nothing, we were already done. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. at the Civil Affairs office. Don't be late. Qianqian, you've been through so much. Sis, I'm okay. Starting today, nobody gets to make me suffer again. Come on, to Qianqian getting her life back. Cheers. 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 Ha! Ha! Ha ha ha! Shu Qian, are you still angry? If you have something to say it. Shu Qian, don't blame Zhou Nian and the others. Dad forced their hand. After you left, the whole house exploded. Everyone kept asking why you and Bobo weren't there. Dad was so embarrassed he flipped the table, ruined his own banquet, and now he's lying in his room saying he's cutting you off and demanding Zhou Nian divorce you. Cut me off? That makes it sound like we ever had a relationship. Perfect. I was already planning to divorce him. Saves me the trouble. Shu Qian, please listen to me. Dad was just angry. Pride means everything to him. Give him a way to save face and this can all blow over. And divorcing Zhou Nian won't be good for Bobo. He's so young. Doesn't he deserve an intact family? Do you really think a home where his grandparents treat him like an outsider is intact? Every extra day I stay there hurts my son one more day. I've made my decision. I'm getting divorced and nobody is talking me out of it. So this is what finally refusing to play nice feels like. Light. Lighter than I've ever felt. I should have done it years ago. Shu Qian, stop this. I'm begging you. Come home. Let's go home and talk this through, okay? Home? That place stopped being my home a long time ago. Listening to his weak, empty plea made me sick. Not once had he ever stood up for me. His father excluded my son and me. He went along with it. His family smeared me with a fake medical report. He stayed silent. Only after their lies were exposed did he finally step in, acting like a peacemaker and telling me not to make a scene. He wasn't fixing anything. He just wanted to bury the problem and dump all the anger and pain back onto me, exactly like he'd done countless times over the past 8 years. Too bad. I'm not the old Shu Qian anymore. The woman he's begging to come back died in that house 8 years ago. Zhou Nian, I have 3 things to say. First, tomorrow at 9 a.m., meet me at the Civil Affairs office for the divorce. Show up or don't. If you don't, I'll file in court. Second, the down payment on the home we live in came from my parents, and I have the transfer records. For 8 years, my salary paid the mortgage, and the bank statements prove it. You're not taking a cent from that house. Third, I get custody of Bobo. A weak, spineless man who refuses to take responsibility doesn't deserve to call himself his father. That's all I have to say. Anyone object? The second I left that family group chat, I could almost hear the chains breaking. 8 years. Finally. Eat up. We've got something important to handle today. Yeah, the divorce is happening. But first I need to go back and get some important documents. Our household registry, my ID, the property deed, and most importantly, the original bank transfer showing my parents paid the down payment. I can't leave a single one behind. I'll go upstairs with you. Dad, don't worry, they won't dare. But what if... Some things I have to face on my own. You really have to be this ruthless? Shu Qian, does 8 years of marriage really mean less to you than 1 dinner and 1 guest list? You were ruthless first. Your whole family was. Zhou Nian, do you still think this is about 1 dinner? It's about 8 years of contempt, exploitation, and disrespect from your entire family. You gladly took everything I gave, while never truly seeing me as family. That list was just the final straw. You can't have the house. It's in my name. That makes it my premarital property, and you're not taking it. Jonian, do you seriously not understand the law? My parents paid the down payment. I have proof. I paid the mortgage after we married. I have proof. It's marital property, and I funded it. You really think you know how a judge will rule? I don't care. My parents bought this as my marital home. Nobody is taking it from me. I froze. My parents paid the down payment, yet somehow, in his mouth, the house had become something his parents bought him. Watching him say it with absolute confidence made something click. In the Zhou family's mind, once something entered their home, it became theirs, no matter who paid for it. I married Zhou Nian, so apparently my body, my money, and everything my family gave me all magically became Zhou property. The entitlement was unbelievable. Shu-Tian, stop! If you walk out that door today, we're really finished! We were finished yesterday. Even if we divorce, you can't take Bobo. His last name is Zhou. He's the Zhou family's grandson. Did you forget what your dad said yesterday? He personally called Bobo an outsider too. If he's an outsider, what does he have to do with the Zhou family? The moment that door closed, my ridiculous, miserable 8-year marriage stayed behind it for good. It's okay, it's over now. Come on, Dad's taking you home. I waited half an hour. Jonian never showed. I wasn't surprised. He wasn't afraid of divorce. He was afraid of splitting the house and being thrown out with nothing. Attorney Wang, prepare the lawsuit. Yes, a contested divorce. I want the house and custody of my son. I want him walking away with nothing. Attorney Wang was a senior from my college classmates' law school, one of the city's best-known divorce lawyers. Fast, ruthless, precise, and supposedly undefeated. I sat on the sofa in his office and laid out every piece of evidence. A copy of the deed, my parents' down payment transfer records, 8 years of mortgage payments from my account, even itemized records of everything I'd spent on the Zhou family. I may have carried that marriage on my back, but I wasn't stupid. Starting in our second year of marriage, I kept receipts and records for every major expense. I thought I'd never need them. Turns out they became my strongest weapon. Miss Xu, you have a very strong case. Legally, the house may be registered under Zhou Nian's name, but your parents provided the down payment, and you have clear transfer records. The mortgage payments after marriage also came entirely from your salary account. That gives you a major advantage in court. In the best-case scenario, the court could award you the whole property, with you only paying him a relatively small amount for his share. As for custody, Zhou Nian has a pattern of emotional neglect, and his family environment has a clear negative effect on the child. You also have stable income that's much higher than his. Your chances of getting custody are over 99%. Attorney Wang, I have one condition. I want him out with nothing. I don't want compensation from him. I just want him thrown out of the home my parents paid for with nowhere to hide. I understand. I'll do everything I can to help you reach that outcome. When I walked out of the law office, the air felt cold and clear. The weight I'd carried in my chest for 8 years was finally gone. Shu-Tian, it's me. I just wanted to ask, are you really divorcing Zhou Nian? What does that have to do with you? It does. Shu-Tian, I want to make a deal with you. What kind of deal? I know a secret about that house. A secret that can guarantee you get the entire property in court, and make sure Zhou Nian gets nothing. What do you want? After you win, I want you to expose the secret. I want Zhou Zhenhai publicly disgraced. I never expected the first person to offer to team up with me against the Zhou family would be the oldest sister-in-law, the one who always seemed the quietest and most obedient. Remember 3 years ago, when your parents gave you $200,000 to pay down part of the mortgage? That money never touched the mortgage. The day after you handed it to Zhou Nian, he and his mother withdrew it. They used it to buy Zhou Jianbin a house back in their hometown, paid in full, with the deed in his mother's name. My parents spent their whole lives saving that $200,000 for retirement, and they stole it to buy Zhou Jianbin a house. $200,000, my parents' lifetime savings. 3 years ago, they saw me struggling with the mortgage and gave me the money to pay it down early and save interest. I was so moved, I handed the card to Zhou Nian. The mortgage was linked to his account, so I thought it would be easier for him to make the payment. I trusted him completely. I never imagined that trust would be repaid with such shameless betrayal and deception. His family were like leeches, draining me dry while still complaining I hadn't given enough. Fine. If that's how they want it, I'll make sure they pay for every last drop. Why are you helping me? I'm not helping you. I'm helping myself. In Zhou Jinhai's eyes, only his second son, Zhou Jianbin, ever mattered. My husband Jianjun is the oldest. He sacrificed so much for this family for years. But somehow we never get anything. My mother-in-law was even worse. Her favoritism was off the charts. She used your money to buy her second son a house in cash, then bragged to my face about how successful he was. Why should he get everything? When my son wanted extracurricular classes, she said she had no money. But when her other grandson wanted a piano worth over 10,000 yuan, she paid without blinking. I'd had enough. In that family, you and I were the same, outsiders just there to do all the work. I understood exactly how she felt. Years of resentment had piled up, and once it found an outlet, it erupted like a volcano. I happened to be that outlet. I need evidence. I have it. Once Liu Suihua and Li Yajuan were talking about this in a room. I happened to walk by and recorded them on my phone. Liu Suihua had also shown me the deed to brag about the house, so I secretly took a photo. The deed is in her name and the address is in the best complex in their hometown. Is that enough? More than enough. Send me everything. Okay, I promise. Once I win the case and get back what's mine, I'll expose the whole thing exactly as it happened. I want everyone to see what kind of self-righteous hypocrites Zhou Jinhai and his family really are. This isn't just a marital property dispute anymore. This is outright fraud. Deal? Deal. Zhou Jinhai, every single thing your family owes me, I'm taking it back. Less than a minute after we hung up, 2 files came through on WeChat, an audio recording and a photo. I opened the photo and there it was, a bright red property deed. Yajuan, let me tell you, Xu Qian is such a fool. Her parents gave her 200,000 yuan. Zhou Nian and I turned around and used it to buy a house for you and Zhou Min. She still has no clue. She thinks it all went toward the mortgage. Mom, you really think ahead. Big brother is stiff as a board, and his wife barely says a word. Jianmin knows how to keep you happy. In the end, won't the Zhou family's assets all go to him anyway? Xu Nen, Liu Suihua, Xu Xinhai, your consequences are finally here. Ms. Zhu, this is the smoking gun. It shows intentional transfer of marital assets and may even amount to fraud. With this evidence, Zhou Nian could lose his claim to the house, be ordered to repay the 200,000 yuan plus interest, and potentially walk away with nothing. The court summons reached Zhou Nian almost immediately, along with my request to freeze the assets. The home we'd lived in for 8 years was officially frozen by the court. Until judgment, Zhou Nian couldn't sell it, transfer it, or use it as collateral. Useless. You can't even keep your own wife under control. Now you've dragged our family drama into public view. How am I supposed to face the relatives? Are you even my son? Dad! Shut up! This is all your fault. You said the plan was foolproof. Now we've been exposed. What am I supposed to do? Who insisted on moving the money? Who said Xu Qian would never find out? Mom, why are you dumping all of this on me now? You ungrateful brat. I did all of this for you 2 brothers. For me? You mean for Jianmin? One court summons threw the entire Zhou family into chaos. The family that once looked unbreakable fell apart the second money was on the line, exposing exactly who they really were. Honey, I'm sorry. I was wrong. The 200,000 yuan was my mom's idea. I lost my head and went along with it. Please forgive me this once. We don't have to divorce. We can fix this. Just withdraw the lawsuit. We're family. We don't need to drag this into court. It's humiliating. Please, forgive me. Zhou Nian, do you really think any of that matters now? When you and your mom took my parents' retirement money, why didn't you remember we were family? When your dad treated me like I didn't exist in the family group chat, why didn't any of you remember then? Humiliating? Don't worry, this is only the beginning. You've got plenty more embarrassment coming. I never want to see a call from the Zhou family again. Chenqian, the Zhou family is here. Your mother-in-law, Liu Kuihua, brought your 2 sisters-in-law and your husband's sisters. They're downstairs demanding that you come out and see them. Ignore them. If they want to stand there, let them. We'll see who gets tired first. But this looks terrible. All the neighbors are watching. Mom, respect is something you earn, not something other people hand you. If the Zhou family wants to embarrass themselves, we can't stop them. The more we react, the happier they'll be. So we eat dinner, watch TV, and carry on like normal. We treated the 4 women downstairs like they didn't exist. They stood there from 3 in the afternoon until 7 at night. By then it was dark and they were probably cold and hungry. Finally, they couldn't take it anymore. Well, Xu Qian, you've got ice in your veins. Mom is already this old and she stood downstairs waiting for you for 4 hours. You couldn't even show your face. Aren't you afraid karma will come for you? Whether I'm afraid is none of your concern. But here's a reminder. The house you're living in was bought with my money. When this case is over, you'll have to pay back every cent. If you can't, I'll ask the court to enforce the judgment and seize that house. You're lying. Mom bought that house for me. What does it have to do with you? Whether it has anything to do with me is for the judge to decide. I knew that was enough to start breaking their little alliance from the inside. Mom, you promised that house was ours and had nothing to do with Shu Qian. Now she's coming after it. You have to do something. You think I wanted this? If John Min hadn't kept pushing us to buy a house back then. Don't dump this on us now. You made the decision and you were the one who withdrew the money. You ungrateful snake! What began as a dramatic showdown at our door turned into the Zhou family tearing each other apart. They had never truly been united. Once pressure hit, they scattered faster than anyone. Watching them expose their ugliest sides didn't make me happy. I only felt sad for the 8 years I'd lost and for how blind I'd been. I didn't rush into some brand new life. For a while, I simply went to work every day and came home to the apartment that was mine again. Same place, same couch, even the same curtains. But living there felt completely different. Before, this place was ours, a home I had to carefully maintain for everyone else. Now it was mine. Every wall, every tile belonged to me and me alone. On weekend mornings, I no longer had to wake up early and make breakfast for a whole family. I could sleep until I woke naturally, make some tea, sit in the wicker chair on the balcony, and stare out the window doing absolutely nothing. That plane tree was planted when the complex was first built. When I moved in, it barely reached the 3rd floor. Now it reached the 6th, its branches swaying past my window in the breeze. 8 years, and I'd never really looked at it before. My closet used to be packed with Zhou Nian's shirts, ties, and jackets. My clothes were crushed into one corner, wrinkled and squeezed together, just like I had been all those years. I folded his clothes one by one, packed them into bags, called a courier, and sent them back to his parents' house. When I finished, I opened the closet, and suddenly it looked huge. The closet hadn't gotten bigger. The things taking up all the space were finally gone. Life works the same way. Shu, what's gotten into you lately? You seem like a completely different person. Really? Nothing much. Honestly, the change wasn't as dramatic as everyone said. I just stopped walking around with a permanent frown. After a little over a month, I'd lost some weight and looked healthier too. Turns out finally being able to breathe can change a person. At the end of the year, our company held its annual party. I wore a dark green dress, light makeup, and a pair of 2-inch heels, then walked into the banquet hall. Shu, I almost didn't recognize you. Yeah, a lot of people didn't. Or maybe they'd just never seen this version of me before. Honestly, neither had I. Shu Qian, you look so much better than you did last year. Really? Absolutely. At last year's party, you sat in the corner barely talking. It was like you were wrapped in fog. This year is different. You look like you're glowing. I didn't answer. I just smiled, but I knew he was right. Once the fog clears, of course the light comes through. That night, I got home, washed off my makeup, and stared at myself in the mirror for a long time. The woman looking back wasn't stunning, but there was something in her eyes that hadn't been there before. I couldn't name it. Maybe peace, maybe confidence. Maybe I just wasn't afraid anymore. Everybody sit down, food's ready. Coming. This year, our Changqian is finally herself again. Come on, cheers. For Lunar New Year, I went back to my parents' home. Mom and Dad made a huge table of food. My brother and his wife came, and so did my sister and her husband. We all squeezed into the little living room, talking and laughing. So this was what New Year was supposed to feel like. Changqian, if anything happens from now on, tell Dad. I may be getting old, but I can still have your back. Why talk like that during New Year? Come on, eat. Look how well Changqian is doing now. Work is going great, she looks happier, and she's doing so much better than before. Ha ha ha! Exactly. She got out of that toxic mess. Her life is only just beginning. Her life is only just beginning. I didn't say anything. I just smiled. But I never forgot those words. It's all in the past. Let's not talk about it anymore. And this time, it really was in the past. I didn't want to treat those 8 years like a scar I had to show everyone I met. They were part of my life, but they didn't get to define all of me. After Lunar New Year, my life became peaceful again. Work and home, dinner with friends once in a while, shopping or a movie on weekends. Nothing dramatic, nothing movie-worthy, but every day belonged to me. You think you lost a home. What you really lost was a lock. I remembered that line for a long time. You think you lost a home. What you really lost was a lock. And it was true. Once the lock was gone, the door finally opened. Changqian, do you ever want to get married again? I haven't really thought about it. I'm not against it, and I'm not waiting for it either. My life is already good. I don't need marriage to prove anything. If I meet the right person someday, great. If I don't, that's fine too. Maybe he was right. I used to fear the shame of divorce, fear that I couldn't support myself, fear what people would say, fear everything. That's why I stayed in a miserable marriage for 8 years. You've changed. You used to overthink everything and worry about this and that. Now it feels like you're not afraid of anything. How have I changed? I repeated those words silently to myself. Maybe she was right. But I didn't say any of that to Li Ling. Some lessons are things you have to understand for yourself. No matter how much someone explains them, it won't matter until you're ready. Day after day passed, plain and quiet. No dramatic plot twist, no big revenge victory. The Zhou family never came looking for me again, and I stopped asking about them. Once in a while, I'd get bits and pieces from my sister-in-law's WeChat. Zhou Nian changed jobs and was apparently doing sales for a small company. My mother-in-law's beauty salon never improved. Her health went up and down, and hospital visits became routine. My father-in-law was still just as hot-tempered, but his body could no longer keep up with his temper. Hearing all that barely stirred anything in me. Those people and those memories felt like they belonged to another lifetime. The news was like wind brushing across water, a few ripples, then calm again. I didn't gloat, and I didn't dwell on it. Everyone has their own road. They walk theirs, I walk mine. Our lives have nothing to do with each other anymore. What really made me happy was seeing my mom change. Before, every time I went home, she'd look at me like she wanted to say something but couldn't, her eyes full of worry and heartache. Now her expression was relaxed and peaceful. I knew what that meant. She finally wasn't worried about me anymore. Mom, people will say whatever they want. Whether I'm living well or not, I'm the only one who truly knows. She nodded. Her eyes were a little red, but she was smiling. I knew she'd been waiting years to hear me say that. When fall came, I redecorated my little apartment. I put a pothos plant on the windowsill, bought light blue sheets I actually liked, and hung a brass wind chime by the door that I'd found at a night market. Whenever the breeze came through, it gave off a soft little chime. When I lived with the Zhou family, my mother-in-law chose every decoration, dark colors, busy patterns. Once I suggested changing the curtains. She said light colors got dirty too easily, and that ended the conversation. I never brought it up again. Now my curtains are thin and white. They float gently whenever the breeze comes in. If they get dirty, I'll wash them more often. Big deal. What color do you want? Whatever color I like, it's my choice. After I said it, I froze for a second. Such a simple sentence, yet it felt like I hadn't said anything like that in years. On weekends, I started learning to cook, not to serve anyone, just because I wanted to eat what I liked. Last month, I tried making steamed fish with lemon. I messed it up twice, but the third try was perfect. Tender fish, bright citrus aroma filling half the room. I sat at my little table alone and finished every bite. I still wanted more. You're finally getting it. Next time, invite me over for a free meal. Deal. You bring the wine. Something soft and warm slowly rose inside me. This is my place, my life, and from here on out, it's only going to get better.